Hey everybody, welcome to this third episode of the class that teaches you what not to do in Excel because you could break everything. Excel Public Service Announcement. Today we're going to talk about deleting. A lot of people, they don't know how to delete in Excel and they just do pretty much what they find. Did you know that in Excel there is actually 5 different ways of deleting things? Most people don't know, they just try to use backspace or the delete key, and a lot of things aren't very clear about how to delete in Excel. So let's get to this file that you can access in the comments, by the way, if you want to download it and do this thing with me. So let's check it out. So right here in my file, if we look at it together here, you can see I've got the first version is backspace. You see it's done with the backspace key on this line here. Let's give it a color. On this orange line are the keys that you have to use to make it work. So you see here, let's try it on this test title. If I hit backspace on the test title, it deletes the cell and I can type something else. You see? And it works. And here on the first value it will also work. But if you take multiple things and you use backspace, you'll notice it doesn't let you do more than one at a time. So you have to hit enter backspace, enter backspace, enter backspace. And it's very irritating to be doing all these things at once. So to save some time and not to be like, deleting one after another like this, if you've got a list of things to delete, you can use the clear contents, not the clear text key, the clear contents key. And to do that, you use the delete key. And how does the delete key work? Well, it's pretty simple. You click a cell, you hit delete, it deletes the contents, but not the color though. You'll notice in both cases, blue stayed. But if I take all of them, you see I take my mouse, I click and drag, I hit delete, it deletes all of them. I don't have to backspace, enter, backspace, enter, backspace, enter. If anybody here did backspace, enter in Excel once in their life, you understand that, you don't want to do that. Next thing is that you can also do a thing called right-click and delete. And you'd be expecting that the right-click delete feature would be maybe the same as the delete key on your keyboard or the backspace key, but actually it does a very different thing. What it does is it deletes a cell inside of the grid. So if I say delete this cell here, right-click, delete, it will ask me where does it want the cells to shift. So I'm going to say shift cells up, and what you'll notice is this first value will move up and the blue title will disappear. So it deleted the exact cell and had to move up a chunk of cells, and that's the right click delete. So that's useful when you're trying to delete things that you want things to move up automatically. So in certain examples where you have a line of data, you want to delete that line, it'll move up. That's fantastic. So we've got this right click delete done, but what if I wanted to remove the color and the content, but I didn't want the cells to shift down? I would have just wanted to empty the cell from everything, the color and the text. And if you hit delete, you'll notice it doesn't work. If you hit backspace, you'll notice it doesn't work. So what is the clear, everything button? Well, you see under the home tab, there is the clear button, which is like an eraser. And if you click this clear button, there's a clear all option on it. And if you hit clear all, then it will clear everything from that cell, including the formats, including the design, whatever you've chosen to put on that cell will disappear and it will become an empty cell, which is a very useful thing that you might want to do. And it does it to all of the cells at once if you want to do it. You can hit clear all. And under the clear button, there's also a nice, very interesting button, which is called clear formats. And what does that do? It takes the formats and it removes them. You see, I can hit clear formats and voila, the color of the cell went away, but the content of the cell stayed there. So I was able to edit the look of it without changing what is inside of a cell. So like all this color all over here, I could select all of it, and I could go here under clear formats, and you'll notice all of the text stayed the same, but all of the colors went away, and that's really cool. So let's talk about a situation where this happens and people don't do the right thing and it might be dangerous. Look at here, I've got a file, somebody gave it to me and I need to clean it up, right? And I was told that some things had to go and some things had to stay. And I'll give you an example here. You see, this line here, Ronald Harvey's, he needs to get deleted from this data set. So to delete him, you could naturally try to select it and hit delete. That would be very long because now the line in the red is still there. Or you could try to backspace it, and then you have to backspace, enter, backspace, enter, backspace, enter. That sounds like horrible. So ideally, in this area, if you want to do this, you have to right click and go delete. And if you do that, it's going to ask you if you want to shift the cells up, putting all of the information back on top and showing to me that that was the ideal delete for this scenario. But I was also told that the colors had to be removed. And so now that the colors have to be removed, I'm not too sure how to do it, but if you know how to clear formats, that's very easy. You go right over here, you select clear formats, and bam, the formats are cleared. Oh, what happened to my dates? That's in the next video where we talk about what happens with dates and why are they like that. But right here I can fix it by just putting it back to a short date format, and it works. And I've deleted what was deleted, and I was able to make it look really nice and prepared. And if I need to delete, I can right click here and go delete. It deletes the column and it shifts. Wonderful. In conclusion, this delete thing in Excel is a bit complicated. There's 5 different ones. Today we've talked about all 5 of them. The first one, backspace. Right? It just clears the text. Not very useful. The delete key, at least it clears all the contents. That's a bit more useful, and I think most people use the delete key as a general one. But also, you can right-click things and hit delete, but that will delete the physical cell and have to replace it with another cell, either from the top or from the right or from a certain area. You have the clear all button under the home tab, which clears all of the formats, and finally, all of it, not only the formats. And finally, there's the clear formats, which will only remove the color from a cell and not the contents of it. I really hope you like this video here. We talked about deleting. I know a lot of people aren't too sure how to delete in Excel. I hope this clarified it and that you feel like if now you could go back to your Excel adventures and save some time with how to delete and how to do things. James WDH, a passion for learning.